Good morning to one and all. To- This is Saujanya, working as assistant professor in CSC department at GRAT. Now I am going to explain about the cloud computing basic models. Basically, the cloud contain different types of models, right? So in today's class we are going to learn about the two types of models. One is that service model, second one is the deployment models. Basically, the cloud models are providing certain services and models working behind the scene, making the cloud computing feasible and accessible to the end users. Following are some of the models which are available in the cloud computing. Those are service models, and second one is the deployment models. Here we are seeing this diagram showing the different types of cloud service models, right? So basically the cloud contain the almost 9 types of service models, like software as a service model, platform as a service, infrastructure as a service, network as a service, next database as a service. So basically we are having the 9 types of services in the cloud, but in this we are learning that software as a service, platform as a service, and infrastructure as a service, right? This diagram is showing that who is providing that cloud compute software as a service, and what are the example for that one, which type of provider is providing this type of software as a service or platform as a service and infrastructure as a service. We will see now, right? Now we are saying that first one is what is the software as a service, right? Cloud computing is based on the service models. These are the categories into three basic service models: infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, software as a service. But we are having that anything as a service. Just now explained that cloud is providing the 9 types of services. So except these three ones, if that any type of services provided by the cloud, we can say anything as service. In place of anything, we can call it as the network as a service, strategy as a service, database as a service, identity as a service, business as a service. There's a reason in place of the type of that service, we are calling it as a anything as a service, and it is denoted by the X. Is now that anything as a service at another service model, which includes network as a service, business as a service, identity as a service, and database, or else we can call it as a strategy as a service also. Then next one is that first the infrastructure as a service. It is the most basic level of service. It is the most basic level of service. These service models inherit the security management mechanism from the underlying model, as shown in the diagram, right? This infrastructure as a service provides access to the fundamental resources such as physical machines, virtual machines, and virtual storage. In this diagram, we can see that infrastructure as a service, it is a technical IT community, this one. And what type of services are provided by the IaaS? Servers as a service, networks, storage, data center fabric, load balancer, and firewalls, right? So which are who are providers? This one, Amazon as a web service, Amazon Web Services, Microsoft, Rockspace, and Verizon, and some other ANT, HP, and different types of companies are providing that infrastructure as a service to the end user, right? Next one is that platform as a service. Platform as a service provides a runtime environment for the applications or development and deployment tools, etc. Means that the platform as a service is nothing but it is providing the runtime environment to the user to develop any application or to create any software or anything. It is providing one runtime environment for the end user. Right here, see this. This is the technical IT community, and what was this one? Middleware, Web 2.0, application, runtime, development tools, database, Java, and these are provided by the platform as a service. And different providers are there. Google App Engine. These are the example. Windows, Azure, and Engineered, and Computing Wide. These all are the example for the past. Next one is the software as a service. The software as a service model allows to use software application as a service to the end user. We can say that email or any of the software as a service, we can call it as a software as a service. See here, this will be used by the business user or consumer, right? We can say email as one example, business process, industry application, CRM, and EPR, HR. These are we are calling as some of the example for the SaaS, and which are provided the Oracle, CR, Salesforce, and Microsoft Dynamics CRM. These all are the example for the SaaS, we can say, right? Next one is the deployment models, which are available in the basic cloud models. Deployment models defines the type of access to the cloud, how the cloud is located, and a cloud can have any of the four types of access, like a public and private, hybrid and community cloud. Right? Basically, the deployment models are having the four types: public cloud, private cloud, community cloud, and hybrid cloud. Right, now we will check each one. Right, first one is the public cloud. The public cloud allows systems and services to be easily accessible to the general public. Means whatever the services provided by the cloud, if those services are generally available to the public, for general public, then we can say it is a public cloud. This public cloud may be less secure because of its openness. Means it will be accessed by each and every person. This is the reason the security was, we can say it is a somewhat, this we can say as a one of the drawback. Some of the example for that public cloud or Amazon Elastic Cloud Compute, and this is a top service provider, Microsoft Azure, Google App Engine, IBM Cloud, Salesforce, Heroku, and others are the some of the example for the public cloud. Here some of the advantages for the public cloud are, it is a very flexible, reliable, and highly scalable, and it will, the cost of the public cloud is very low and place independence. Some of the disadvantage with this cloud is that less secured, poor customizable. Next one is the private cloud. The private cloud allows systems and services to be accessible within an organization. It is more secure because of its private in nature. That private public cloud is available to the general public, whereas the private cloud will be used by the within the organization, and we have to pay the money for this private cloud, how much you are using. That public cloud is free for each and every person. A public cloud that is available to the general public, only one specific company owns a private one. That is why it is also called as internal or corporate cloud. Private clouds permit only authorized users, providing the organization greater control over data and its security. Business organizations that have dynamic, critical, secured management demand based requirements should adopt the private cloud. Okay, some of the example for the private cloud are VMware, Oracle, Red Hat are some of the example for that private cloud. Some of the advantages with the private cloud: highly private and security. It is highly private and secured cloud. Private cloud resource sharing is highly secured and control oriented. Private clouds provide more control over its resources than the public cloud. Disadvantages: costly. It is more costly, whereas the public cloud is free, but whereas here private cloud is somewhat costly, as it provides secured and more features, so it's more expensive than the public cloud. And the restriction: it can be accessed locally within an organization. These are some advantages and disadvantages of the private cloud. Next one is the community cloud. The community cloud allows systems and services to be accessible by a group of organizations. A community deployment model largely resembles a private one. The only difference is the set of users. Okay, whereas the private cloud is nothing but it is same. The community cloud is also just like the private cloud, but here we are having the group of members in the community cloud. While a private type implies that only one company owns the server, in the case of a community one, several organizations with similar background share the infrastructure and related resources. Example of such community is where organization firms or they're all along with the financial institutions or banks. Some of the advantages of the community cloud are cost reduction, improved security, privacy, reliability, ease of data sharing and collaboration. Whereas the disadvantages are high cost if compared to the public deployment model, sharing of fixed storage and bandwidth are the some of the disadvantage with the community cloud. Next one and the last one is the hybrid cloud. The hybrid cloud is a mixture of public and private cloud in which the critical activities are performed using the private cloud while the non-critical activities are performed using the public cloud. Hybrid cloud is another cloud computing type which is integrated. It can be a combination of two or more cloud servers. Means it may be the private, public or community combined as one architecture but remaining individual entities. Some of the advantages with the hybrid cloud are flexible, secure, cost effective, risk scalable. And some of the disadvantages with the hybrid cloud are complex networking problem, organization security compliance. So now in this video we learned that different types of basic cloud models, service models as well as the deployment models. Thank you.